God, I'm on a video making mission number 4 in a row. Right. I was thinking I've actually got 5, but after this I'll have 5 videos to edit. And I've got next Thursday to do. Oh well, right. This True Talking Thursday is about the reasons why Philip DeFranco's news network is going to be better than the TYT news network. I did used to watch TYT. I stopped watching about 18 months ago, and I was signed up to the newsletter, so I've since unsigned up from the newsletter and explained to them that I no longer agree with the fact that they managed to turn everything into something political. I was watching Egocast the other day, and he was analysing one of their videos about the which countries are the happiest and how America are 14. And of course they managed to make it political. Everything, they make it political. Everything. They make everything political, and it just annoys me. Because not everything has to be political. So, I have reasons. One of these I will actually refer back to the John Bonet case, and I'll actually explain why. TYT have multiple channels, which is true, and I think that Phil's going to go back to having multiple channels, so there won't just be the Philly D and the Philip DeFranco show. There's going to be other channels as well. Whether or not they're going to bring something back similar to Nerd, you know, all that and that, like, you know, the Nerd channels, the Nerd HQ and stuff like that. I don't know whether that's going to come back, or something similar to that is going to come back. Cross fingers it might do. But TYT have multiple channels, but quite often, more often than not, the same topic is discussed on all the channels with the exact same opinions. So say for example, they will have, I'll go back to the Austin Jones now. I'm guessing, as I don't follow the channels anymore and I'm not going to actually go and look, I'm guessing it was covered on their main show, which is the TYT show. It'll have been covered on the Point's No Longer Done, I don't think. It'll be covered on Pop Trigger, and it'll be covered on what used to be TYTU. I've forgotten what they call it now. Brain something or other. It'll be on all 3 of those channels, and the exact same opinion will be in all 3. 9 times out of 10, they all agree. Every so often, it'll be the guys against the girls. And considering there's not that many girls, especially on the main show, there's only ever usually either Anna and Hannah, or Anna and Grace. But a lot of the time, they all say the same thing, and they all parrot each other, and they all seem to have the same opinion that everything's political and that everything's planned. And they also seem to fail at fact checking. This is where I'm going to relate to the John Bonet Ranter video. Now, it took me all of 5 minutes of searching the John Bonet Ranter case to find the autopsy report. And in the autopsy report, it actually gives a reason to why John Bonet's blood were found in her underwear. Again, I will refer to the video in the iCard that explains it in more detail. And there's a video attached to that video that goes into even more detail. And I found that in 5 minutes. Granted, I understand autopsy reports and they probably don't, because they're trained journalists, whereas I'm trained in forensics, so yes, there's a difference. However, a lot of the time you can get somebody. Perfect example, Sam. She works with one of the doctors. She works on a doctor show with Dr. Drew, for crying out loud. She could take it to Dr. Drew and say, is there anything in this that could explain the blood in the underwear? She didn't do that. So, of course, it's going to come up a cropper. That it just shows that they don't do fact checking, and they just continue the narrative that is completely wrong and completely false. And it really upsets me, as you can see. Like I say, it took me 5 minutes to find the autopsy report. 5 minutes. Whereas Phil, I will use as an example the Daddy of 5 situation. Phil saw the videos that obviously made him upset. He walked away. A couple of hours later, him and his team, after hours of research, going through several videos and calming down, he did the video. Now, and then after the video, before it's live, because there's always like, he films the video and then before it goes live, there's like a 3-hour window, they carry on researching. Every single story is researched to every nth degree. That's what most of his crew do. He has editors, he had researchers. He does also research himself. Because the last thing he wants is to do a story, to get the wrong information, and then look like a fool, because that's not the way Phil works. He doesn't like to be made to look like a fool. Gent rants over politics. Like I say, he turns everything into something political. Everything. Even if it's something happening in this country, perfect example, the Brexit. He turned around and said that the reason why Britain wanted to leave the EU was because Turkey was joining the EU. No. I'm not going to go into the reasons, because there's a lot of reasons why to stay and why to leave, and there's a lot of reasons why people want to stay in the EU and why they wanted to leave. But Turkey had nothing to do with it at all. And 5 minutes of research would have told him that. Because there was a reason why the election and the referendum happened. And like I say, 5 minutes of research would have told him that reason, which is that we wanted to control the amount of people that come into the country, because we are a small country that's overpopulated. And being part of the EU, we have an open door and we can't control how many come in, whereas we wanted to control how many come in, and the government said no, which is why the referendum took place. The EU said no, so that's why the referendum took place. It had nothing to do with Turkey. It's the amount of people that are coming into the country is why the referendum took place. Turkey's got nothing to do with it, Jen. They cover topics that they like, not those some viewers want covered. As far as I'm aware, there's no way of asking TYT to do videos. There is with Phil. And a lot of the times, Phil will cover a story that nobody else is covering. Party of 5, Party of 5 being an example. He was the one that found the videos, said, this is wrong. And as a result, did a video on about it, which has caused legal ramifications for the family. That is still continuing on to this day, and that are probably going to last for a while. And Phil felt like he had to do it because he had to protect the children, because nobody was protecting them. And what he saw was wrong. I've never seen TYT break anything like that. TYT show is clinical and inorganic. Yeah, they have a nice set, but it feels very clinical. It feels very sterile. It feels very forced. And then obviously the fact that everybody agrees with everybody, it doesn't feel right. Whereas with Phil, it's more relaxed. Even the way he introduces the show, it makes you feel relaxed, and you know that's his sense of humour, and that's what he does at the beginning of every show. That's the way he introduces the show. With Phil, it's very much like you're talking to a friend, you're talking to somebody you know, you're talking to somebody that you speak to on a regular basis. With Cenk, it's 2 hours of him sat there ranting. And on a set that doesn't feel right. Very similar to Just Kidding News. They have a set for Just Kidding News. However, because it was a set, the set was in a way, some may say, very similar to the set that TYT have. And it felt very clinical, which is why they've gone back to using the old office for Just Kidding News, because people didn't like the new set. Because it didn't feel right, which is fine. Which is all good. At the end of the day, that's the decision they've made, because everybody said we didn't like it. The cameras were too far away, all that. With Just Kidding News, I like the fact that the distance from the camera to the person is this, not from my wall to here. And I don't have a big house. I would show you the wall, but there's piles of clothes in front of it, so I'm not gonna. And it would also involve me flashing you the bag of clean clothes that are at the side of me that need folding, which I don't want to do either because there's unmentionables on the top. So, you know, it's very, whereas with Phil, he sat at a desk in front of a couch, the room's very enclosed, well, that part of the room's very enclosed, it's very comfortable, it's very relaxed. The way he talks to you is very relaxed. Every so often when he gets serious, like the daddy of 5, you know he's talking about something serious, so you prepare yourself, you center yourself, you get ready, and then he talks. Phil is relatable and likeable, and knows how to make it non-clinical. I would rather spend the 20 minutes watching Phil than 2 hours watching TYT. I learn more from 20 minutes of Phil than 2 hours of TYT. Like I said, TYT is just 2 hours of Jen ranting, or 2 hours of John ranting, or 2 hours of Anna ranting. I like my shows to be organic, I'm sorry. Phil's organic, the others aren't. It's like even with Nerd HQ and all that, the other channels that Discovery closed down, it was Phil that built those channels. It was Phil that created those channels, made them what they were when Discovery had them, and he built the staff. He built, you know, he still had some involvement, not much, but you know, he was still in the same office. And to me, with Phil, he has a habit of picking the right people that you relate to, like Sam, Steve, Brie, and Brie used to be TYT, which is where I found out about it, and that's how I found out about the Nerd guys, because Brie went over to them. But Phil calms down before making recordings. Jen doesn't. Daddy of 5 being an example. He found out about the Daddy of 5, saw the videos that the guys mentioned to him, walked away to calm down, because it's the type of situation that Phil hates and angers him, makes him so pissed off. He walked away and then came back, then did the recording once he calmed down, because he actually said at the beginning, I had to walk away and calm down for this because I was too mad. Phil knows how to pick stuff that are likeable. Phil presents facts, then his opinions, while Jen rants and occasionally throws in a fact while he's giving his opinion. But like I said, a lot of the times Jen will give you a fact, you research it and it's like, oh crap, Jen got something wrong again. And if Phil gets something wrong, and you rectify him on it, he then apologises. Phil cares about YouTube, so, i.e. the Daddy of 5 situation, and other situations including the Austin Jones situation, the Alex Jones situation, and other people on the network that are doing wrong things. However, TYT don't seem to. They've never broke anything to that level. They've never broke anything of that statue, and to me it makes them disingenuous, and it makes them just want to be there, report the news, not actually bring something forward that needs to be resolved and quick, which is what Phil did with the Daddy of 5 situation, and it is in the process of being resolved. I really can't wait to see what Phil does next. If I had the money, I would be a Patreon. I'd hands down be a Patreon. I would be a Patreon for a handful of people. Unfortunately, I can't afford that. I can just about afford what I'm doing now. The video camera that I have is purely due to birthday and Christmas money that we've saved up. Because I needed a decent camera because my camera was shite. So, having people and the money that people give us as gifts and putting it to one side for things like this is a good thing. Like I said, if I could afford it, I'd be paying for to be a Patreon of Phil's. I really would. I really am looking forward to see what he's going to come up with next and how everything's just going to grow. He's done this before, he can do it again. Sorry about that. windows open, I ain't causing it's too hot. It's bloody hot. Right, I'll probably make one more video and then edit, because I think I've got one more video on me before my voice decides to tell me where to go. So, I'll have to figure out which video first. Then that way I've only got Friday, Saturday, Sunday's video to do. I think I know what I'm doing Friday, but I need the husband's help to record that. Either tomorrow or Wednesday. And then on for the Saturday and Sunday video, I might do read through, or I might record that while Mum's here. I don't know yet. Because providing I can record at night while I'm supposed to be in bed, and if she's watching telly, he's gone to work. But I want to get as many videos done as I can, especially the weekend ones, because I can't really record over the weekend without leaving them to for like half an hour while I record. Because I literally record on my bed. I'm literally on my bed because it's my headboard. These are my teddies. These are my pillows. I've got the black ones, the other ones are the hubbies. Sat on a mattress. That's my real, because a lot of the time in the middle of the night my hips come out, so I have to pull myself to into a certain position to either slip it back in or pull myself into a position so my husband can put it back in, unfortunately. So, with that being said, I hope you're looking forward to seeing what Phil does as well. Like I said, I don't agree with everything he says, I don't agree with all his opinions, but I don't have to enjoy a show. Whereas with Cenk, he just screams about everything and anything. And I am so glad last year that Phil won the award over Cenk. Oh, when I watched that, I was like, yes! I was like, yes! Yes! And then when Grace had to interview him afterwards, and I'm like, where's Cenk? Then he actually spoke to Cenk, and Cenk actually did seem to be quite, respectful about it. Because Cenk's used to getting it, whereas because Phil's kind of like a contender, and the two kind of have this, I think it's a respectful competition between the two of them. But the thing is, Phil's already built a network once, he can do it again. And granted, Cenk's built a network, but which one's going to be better? We don't know. We shall see. Right, I'm gonna leave it at that now. So, hope you got to take part in the sale yesterday. I'll let you know if there's another one coming up. I haven't got one planned yet, but I might do one for my birthday in August. I don't know yet. Don't hold me to that, and I might do it through a different book. Stay safe. I'm hoping, like I say, I've got a plan for tomorrow's video. I just need the husband to help me, so we shall see. So stay safe, have fun, and I will see you tomorrow.